Let's hope 2023 is the first year in a long time that I can unquestionably say was good.
No member-elect, a speaker has not been elected.
Protests across the country after seeing the horrific video of Tyree Nichols beaten.
The giant Chinese balloon has been shot down.
Massive effort underway. Creeks and water flowing in and around East Palestine.
The collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. The second biggest bank collapse in U.S. history.
New developments tonight involving the shooter at that Nashville school.
Growing outrage after Tennessee's Republican-controlled House voted to expel 2 Democrats.
DOJ says he is the man responsible for leaking dozens of classified documents.
As of this morning, more than 11,000 TV and movie writers, they're on strike.
Rescuers say they're doing everything they can to find the missing submersible.
Senior members of the Russian military intelligence are calling a coup attempt.
This is now the deadliest wildfire in modern U.S. history.
Hurricane Idalia cutting a path of destruction and devastation across the southeast.
The night sky over Gaza glowed orange as Israel launched more airstrikes overnight.
It took more than 3 weeks of infighting for Republicans to elect a Speaker of the House.
2 mass shootings rocking Lewistown, Maine, one at a restaurant, the other at a bowling alley.
The race is on to rescue construction workers who have been stuck since Sunday morning in India.
Republican Attorney General Ken Paxton threatened to jail her doctor and sue the hospital or any hospital that performs it if they provide this abortion care.
You know, I really was hoping this would be the last one of these I would do. I was hoping to come up here, say how great this year has been. I got all my resolutions done, nothing terrible happened, the world was good. But I can't. This was not a great year. But it feels like the last hard year. By that I mean every year since 2015, by the time we get to November, I just want the year to end. So what I'm hoping for is that by this point next year, I can come on camera and say how awesome 2024 was, and how I'm actually sad that the year is ending. But as for 2023, it was basically just like the last 3 years. Incredibly meh, which I guess makes sense. After living through 4 terrible, terrible years, it would take 4 okay years to get back up to good. In fact, this year actually felt a lot like 2022, just worse. So let's look at those New Year's resolutions. Did I meet any of them? We'll start with get a new job. No. But to be fair, I didn't even really look. I'm just trying to get through these student loans. Speaking of student loans, no, I didn't pay them off. As I'm sure most of you know, that $10,000 forgiveness plan was struck down by the Supreme Court, and interest started up a few months ago. I am, however, getting very, very close. This year I actually got them down below $10,000. I have about $7,500 left, and I have a plan on how to pay them off in 2024. It could be as early as May or as late as November, but by the time the clock strikes midnight on New Year's Eve and takes us into 2025, my student loans will be paid off. And finally, did I lose 4 inches? Well, we won't find out for sure until the 31st, but I'm just gonna say no. No, I didn't. This was not a great year for weight loss. I did a lot of weightlifting, and my diet was shit. Plus, I had to take frequent breaks due to stuff we'll get into soon. And man, it made editing videos hard, because I always had to look at that double chin that just refused to go away. And like the last few years, I basically stopped doing those weigh-ins in the second half of the year. But here's the thing. I actually did film a weigh-in on November 1st. And this is what happened.
Oh dear Lord.
Yep, I got back over 300 pounds. It stressed me out so much, I didn't post the video. Now, some of it could be muscle, some of it could have just been I was having a bad week. But just seeing it get back over 300 really depressed me. The last 2 months have been mixed. I've been trying to diet, and I have done a lot of walking. My main goal is to get below 230 pounds and under 38 inches, which I think I can do, but man, first several months of 2024 are gonna be hard. But let's get into the other bad stuff that happens this year. The world gave us plenty to complain about. Hurricanes, wildfires, mass shootings, crazy politics, writers and actors strikes that went on way longer than they should have, more fallout with the Russia-Ukraine stuff that happened last year, and of course the horrible war between Israel and Hamas that for some reason has polarizing views. So yeah, the world wasn't great, but as for my life, it wasn't that bad. It's just that the worst stuff that happened was some of the worst stuff that happened in the last few years. Work is shit, freezing conditions, tons of drama, lots of stuff breaking and taking weeks to get fixed, if they get fixed at all, and several people quitting. I am one of the longest serving people there, and I've been there about 7 years. Also, I had to download an app to do my time card. I don't know why. YouTube's copyright was annoying, of course. I didn't even put out that many videos, and I still had to deal with a lot. That 303 video, I think, took like 10 exports. The straight out of nowhere one, like 4 or 5. Oddly, had no problems with the decom one. But the worst thing is that I can no longer log into the second channel. I got a new phone and a new number in March, and because of weird ways that I didn't think about, I'm not able to log in because it sends a promo code to my old phone number, which I don't have anymore. Maybe there's some way to get in, but I haven't found it. And I was afraid it was going to get deleted because I've heard that inactive users get their YouTube channels deleted after a couple years of inactivity. But apparently if you have YouTube videos, that's not true, so maybe the second YouTube channel is fine. If you're wondering, yeah, that's why 6 or 7 random videos showed up on this channel a few months ago. And all the other videos are up on either my Dailymotion or Vimeo page. To be honest, I have been thinking of retiring that channel for a while. I barely use it. So I wouldn't consider it that big a loss, except there's a few private videos on there that I'll never get to see again. Thanks, Google. My air conditioning broke right at the beginning of July. And it took them till the end of August to fix. And here's the thing, mine actually was able to be fixed very easily, but the way these apartments work, the unit for the guy living above me is down here too. And it took several weeks for them to fix it. I won't go into detail, it's way too sad, but let's just say it involved me having to stay up for several days and a very condescending text. Car bullshit was at a minimum, thankfully. I did have to pay $1,000 just to have it pass inspection, and I got a flat tire in late October that led to a sad next 27 hours. One of our dogs passed away, our 13-year-old golden retriever Max. You may have seen him in my Saving Christmas video. He lived a pretty long life for a golden retriever, and goddamn, he was just such a happy dog. But the absolute worst thing to happen this year, remember last time when I talked about foot pain in 2022? Well, it happened again this year. In the last week of July, I got pain in my left foot so bad that I was limping. And it was bad for about 3 days. And as soon as that started to get better, the right foot started to hurt. So bad, I was limping. It was pain I don't think I've ever experienced before. I nearly threw up. I had to spend the entire weekend in my recliner. I iced it. I rested it. I elevated it. I did everything you were supposed to do, and it still took weeks to fully heal. The last week of July, and I've thought about this, is the worst week I've lived through since the worst week of July 2018. You know, when I killed my car. The 2 main reasons I can think of are, 1, my shoes, and the other, I was too heavy. I was back up to 280 pounds, doing weightlifting exercises that put a lot of strain on my feet, so I basically had to stop weightlifting and mostly stick to really light exercises, which didn't help get rid of all this fat. I even bought an exercise bike. But thankfully, over the last few months, it hasn't really hurt, and hopefully, if I lose weight, it shouldn't hurt again. So yeah, most of the worst things this year happened in the summer months, with a few sporadic things in spring and fall. And I don't want to make it seem like this year was a total loss. Like I said, I didn't have that many car problems. I also didn't have really many money issues. In fact, I was able to make some really big purchases, like that exercise bike, and still have money to spare. I went to another wedding, that was nice. And overall, I would say it was just a mostly meh year with some really bad weeks. but the last couple months have been better and giving me hope for 2024. Next year will be the last one of these I do, whether it's a good year or not. I have 3 New Year's resolutions. If I can get at least 2 of them done, and there isn't some terrible thing that makes everyone declare 2024 the worst year ever, like the last 2 presidential election years, then I will consider 2024 a good year. If it's not a good year, then I just give up. I'm hoping 2023 was like the final endurance test before the final boss. So, do I get to say anything? I'll give you a bigger part next year. I guess that's fair. See you in 12 months. Have fun in October. Wait, what happens in October? Oops, spoilers. Well, I guess the first year of my 30s could have been a lot worse. Once again, I ask you guys to comment, what were the good things that happened to you this year? I'm gonna tell you right now, there will not be many videos in the first half of 2024. My editing laptop is dying. I'm going to be dieting so much, I'm probably going to be depressed. And I am using all my spare money to finally pay off my student loans. But I will try and make it up to you guys in the second half of the year. So I'll see y'all tomorrow for my worst movies of the year, and let's hope that 2024 is the first year in a long time that I can say was great.
One more time, one more time, one more time.